Many years ago, in a small village of Abia, there lived a young, beautiful lady called Chioma. Chioma was admired by everyone because of her beauty. She loved luxury and material things so much. She was always seen in the latest designer clothes, bags, and shoes, outfits that only the rich could afford. Despite being a university undergraduate and coming from a very poor family, she lived like the daughter of a rich man. Chioma's lifestyle was funded by wealthy men who showered her with gifts and money. Every evening, men would arrive in flashy cars to pick her up from her hostel. She enjoyed the attention and feeling of being adored by men who could afford the kind of life she dreamed of. Many decent and responsible men came to seek for her hand in marriage. She refused all of them. These were hardworking and honest individuals who had good intentions, but none of them has the kind of wealth she desired. Her parents became worried and concerned. Chioma, my daughter, you cannot judge a man by the size of his wallet. What matters is his character. Choose one of these men and get married, her father, Nzako, told her one evening. But Chioma was unmoved. Papa, I cannot marry these poor, hungry-looking men. I desire a rich man who would take good care of me and buy me all the luxury things I needed. Chioma said. This continued for some time, until one day she met a handsome tall man in his 40s at the mall where she was picking some items she needed. She had finished picking all the items she needed and was pushing the trolley to the pay point. Omego was equally there, paying for the items he had picked. Chioma mistakenly hit Omego with her trolley as she was pushing through the pay point. I am so sorry, sir, Chioma said. Omego smiled. It's okay, beautiful lady. How are you doing today? He asked, his voice smooth and confident. I am fine, sir, Chioma said, still smiling. Do you mind if I pay for all the items you have picked? Omego asked. Chioma was full of joy. Oh, that's very nice of you, sir. I don't mind at all. Omego paid for all her items and they left the mall. They exchanged contacts. From that moment, they began to see each other more often. He took her to the most expensive restaurant. He bought expensive gifts and showered her with love and attention she craved. Just after 1 month of dating, Omego proposed to her. Chioma accepted immediately without a second thought. She was thrilled. Omego was everything she had ever wanted. Handsome, rich, and caring. He was exactly her dream man. Omego visited Chioma's parents to officially declare his intentions. Chioma's father, Nzako, was skeptical. After Omego left, Nzako called his daughter. Chioma, how long have you known this man? He asked with concern. Papa, I have known him for only a month, but he's a nice man. He loves me very much, and I love him too, Chioma replied confidently. Nzako frowned his face. How can you be talking about love with someone you have only known for just 1 month? I don't trust him, Chioma. My spirit tells me something is wrong. Why are you talking like this? We have been praying for our daughter to find a good man, and now she has. You want to discourage her?" Chioma's mother interrupted. Nzako sighed. "I don't just feel comfortable. Anyway, be careful, Chioma." But Chioma didn't listen. A date was set for the traditional wedding, and as the day approached, excitement filled the air. The traditional wedding was the talk of the town. Omego and his friends arrived in convoy of expensive cars. They spread money like pepper, and the villagers were amazed at the display of wealth. Chioma was gorgeously dressed, her beauty radiating even more as she stepped out with her group of bridesmaids, all wearing matching outfits. There were plenty to eat and drink, and the celebration went on till late in the night. That evening, Chioma and Omego arrived at his house, a magnificent duplex in a quiet neighborhood. Omego lived in the beautiful house with only his gateman, a cook, and a large dog named Lucky. None of Omego's relatives lived with him. When it was bedtime, Chioma was excited, thinking that they would begin their honeymoon. But to her surprise, Omego didn't seem interested. He spent most of the night laughing and chatting with his friends on the phone. When he was done, he picked up his laptop and continued working. And after working for a few hours, he went to the bed and slept off. For many weeks, Omego did not touch Chioma. And anytime she requested that they consummate their marriage, sleep together as husband and wife, Omego would brush it off, giving excuses that he was tired and needed to rest. Chioma became worried and suspected that something wasn't right. Omego never sleeps with Chioma for one day. Instead, his dog does. Every night, Omego will put a sleeping substance into a cup of juice and offered it to Chioma to drink. And as soon as she fell asleep, then he would invite his dog to sleep with her. After that, he will use a white cloth to clean Chioma's private parts, take it into his secret room, made some incantations. Omego was a very strong occultic man, and their rule is that no member of the cult should sleep with a woman. One day, Chioma's suspicions grew so strong, and she decided to be watchful and be at alert. During dinner, Omego offered her a cup of juice as usual. She decided not to drink it. As soon as Omego stepped aside, she poured away the drink, and few minutes later, she pretended to have fallen asleep. As soon as Omego thought she was asleep, he called his dog Lucky into the room. Chioma watched in horror as Omego tried to get the dog to climb on her. She screamed and jumped out of the bed, pushing Omego away. "What are you doing?" she cried, her voice trembling. "Come back here," Omego shouted, trying to grab her, but she pushed him away and ran out of the house. She entered into the next compound and begged them to pass the night there. As soon as it was daybreak, she went straight to her father's house. Panting and terrified, Chioma told her parents everything that had happened. Her father was furious Her mother cried uncontrollably. "I warned you. Chioma, I warned you," Nzako shouted. "I told you. Something wasn't right about that young man. My spirit never accepted him." Her parents blamed themselves for not carrying out proper investigation about Omego before giving her their daughter in marriage. Chioma stayed indoors, crying day and night, refusing to talk to anyone. Her once vibrant and joyful spirit had vanished as a result of guilt and regret. She could barely look at herself in the mirror. "What have I done to myself?" she cried. "Look at where my quest for material things has landed me. I should have listened to my parents. I could have accepted one of these responsible men who came to ask for my hand in marriage." She wished she could turn back the hand of time. Nzako, Chioma's father, was so angry. He blamed himself for not being more forceful in his warning. "If only I had insisted," he thought. "Maybe I could have prevented this." When Chioma ran out of Omego's house that night, the life he had built on deceit and darkness began to crumble. Omego knew that without performing his regular rituals to the deity, everything would go wrong. Before nightfall that very day, Omego began to act in a strange way. And not long, he started pulling his clothes and ran out into the streets. People in the neighborhood began to whisper about a wealthy man who had suddenly gone mad. Chioma, however, had no peace. Not long after she escaped Omego's house, she fell seriously ill. Her parents, worried, took her to the hospital. The doctor ran tests, but the report of the diagnosis was terrifying. A deadly disease was discovered, and despite all efforts of the hospital, Chioma's condition only worsened. The once radiant young lady, who had been the envy of many, now lay pale in the hospital bed. She lost weight so much, her once glowing skin turned dull. People began to gossip about Chioma's condition, and those who had once admired her beauty now pitied her. She had become an object of ridicule. All her friends disappeared into thin air. No one wants to associate with her anymore. One afternoon, when her parents were away, Chioma sat all alone in the house. The shame of what had happened to her at Omego's house and her ill health weighed her down heavily, and she decided to end it. "My life is worthless. I can't bear the shame and pain anymore. I can't continue like this," she whispered to herself. She reached out for a small bottle containing a poisonous substance she had hidden under her bed. With trembling hands, she swallowed the contents. After a few seconds, her body became very weak and she collapsed to the floor and died. The end. This story serves as a lesson to all parents. It is very important to run a proper background check on the men you plan to give your daughter in marriage, especially what they do for a living. As the saying goes, all that glitters is not gold. Young ladies and young men alike, excessive craving for luxury and material possessions has led many into serious trouble, or as in Chioma's case, untimely death. Do not be carried away by societal pressure. Engage in honest living. Work hard, and with time, everything will fall into place. Thank you for watching. Please share this video to your loved ones. Leave a comment below. And don't forget to click the subscribe button. Bye.